So, yeah, as just mentioned before, number 26 will be here on stage next. In person, it will be Maximilian Teilenthal, who is the COO and CFO of number 26. I know a lot of people are discussing the real value of number 26, and I think that they have a pretty smart strategy, becoming a fintech hub. And they want to become a pan-European bank themselves, and they just rolled out their service in Austria, Spain, Italy, France, Ireland, Slovakia, so a lot of companies. And as we have been going through a whole process of unbundling services, now number 26 is speaking about rebundling financial services, and this is what Maximilian is going to explain us. The stage is yours, Maximilian. Where is Maximilian? Ah, here! Woohoo! Maximilian, go for it.
Okay, first of all, thanks for the kind introduction. I'm really happy to be here today. It has been, a lot of people have been talking about unbundling of financial services over the last couple of years. I would like to show rebundling of those financial services alongside the example of my own startup, Number 26. Perhaps to start with, a couple of words about Number 26. It's a classical venture-funded fintech startup based here in Berlin. We have about 150 members on our team, and I think we have 170,000 customers currently. What's Number 26 doing? We have the vision to build the first global mobile bank in an extremely fragmented market. If you look at Europe, you have French banks for French customers, you have German banks for German customers, you have Italian banks for Italian customers. And we want to be the first financial institution that is serving customers in all those countries. When we talk about rebundling, when we talk about unbundling, actually, it means that in the past, if you look 15 years back, there were big banks that have been the only players in a lot of different areas. And then, what you have seen over the last couple of years, startups started to attack certain profitable niches, be it peer-to-peer transfers, be it peer-to-peer lending, be it cross-currency transfers, be it savings, be it investment. First of all, why are we actually positioning our startup in this area? We believe financial services is the area most ready for disruption. There is no area like financial services that's so much dominated by old-fashioned, slow, boring, and little innovative players. At the same time, we have a massive shift in user behavior, from offline to online to mobile. A shift in user behavior we have seen in a lot of industries before. Just think about how you are booking your travels, how you're reading newspapers, how you are consuming music, how you are consuming videos. If you look at the interfaces of the big European banks, they actually look like the internet of the 1990s. I just want to show you a couple of screens of our own product and would like to tell you where other startups are involved here in actually providing these services to the customer. If you look at our sign-up, I think it's still claimed to be the fastest sign-up in Europe for an account. You can actually apply for a Number 26 account within 8 minutes, including customer verification, the so-called KYC, the so-called Know Your Customer process. In the case of Number 26, this is done with the help of WebID, another startup based in Berlin. Once you have your account, you can actually see, like at first sight, it looks like Number 26. And if you ask a couple of our customers, who's your bank? They will actually say, well, if I have a problem, I call Number 26 customer service. If I want to trigger a transfer, I go in the Number 26 interfaces. My MasterCard is Number 26 branded. But if you look actually at this screen, you actually see that this is powered by Wirecard Bank. So we are actually transparent that we are working together with all these startups. Coming to this also like with some other companies we are working together with. Actually, Wirecard obviously like it's not a startup anymore. I think it's fair to say that it's already an established bank. But for us, it's just important that we provide a concise customer experience. So any startup, like any collaboration I'm going to show you is actually done in a way that the customer has one customer experience. The customer doesn't have to leave the app for do the verification. The customer doesn't have to leave the app to do a transfer-wise transaction and so on. Just a couple of other screens. Obviously, it's some more companies involved. For example, the manufacturing company of our Mastercard. If you look at that screen, you can actually see how a Number26 transfer is working. You just select an amount, you select one of your partners from your address book, and then you can select the currency. And in that case, like the transaction is not directly routed to Wirecard, but it's routed to TransferWise. TransferWise, I think, is one of the most successful fintech startups. It's based in London. Again, for the customer, we are transparent that this is actually powered by TransferWise, but for the customer, he doesn't have to leave the app. For the customer, it only counts that he has access to the best product, also in this category. He has access to a quick and convenient and cheap means of a cross-currency transfer. We also thought about how you can actually position yourself against the old brick-and-mortar banks. And if you think about it, it's actually very few advantages these banks have, especially for a growing number of customers which actually don't want to go to the bank branches anymore. Actually, it's only two advantages. First was the KYC process. I think we addressed that one. And then the second thing you might want to go to your bank is actually depositing cash. So we actually thought how we can make the banks fully redundant. And we are working here together with a Berlin-based startup, Zählen, which is actually integrated with a lot of POS terminals. So today, if you want to deposit cash with Number26, you have, I think, 6,000 retail stores. You can go to any Rewe in Germany. You can go to any Penny. You can go to any DM. You just generate a barcode in your app. You present this to the cashier, they scan it in, you give them €300, and that money is deposited to your account in real time. If you think about it, like 6,000 branches, we like to say we have more places where you can deposit cash as the biggest three German banks, Commerzbank, Sparkasse, and Deutsche Bank together. To put it into proportion, I think Deutsche Bank has 710 branches where you can pay in cash. Number26 has 6,000 places. Just like also like real time is generally a very like important concept. So one of the challenges with any bank is or with any partner is actually that we can get a real time integration. For example, here the overdraft for our customer, it doesn't count if you get an overdraft, if you're getting credit, it doesn't count so much whether it's sitting on our balance sheet or whether it's sitting on the balance sheet of one of our partners. In that case, it works in real time, like it works within 2 seconds, and the credit in the background is actually being given by our partner bank, Wirecard. Yeah, just perhaps like this should just give you a quick idea how we actually get to innovation at Number26. We really very much try to be very close to the customer and prioritize every product we launch and every feature we bring to the market according to our customer requests. So if you look at this given week in March, we have every day between 10 and 40 feature requests of our customers, which we analyze, and then we can see actually the tags, the categories of our transaction. We use that. So it's also shared account. It's something a lot of customers are asking for, and so we're actually thinking about to introduce this as next product. If you think about like Number26, I was talking about the one part of the vision, it's actually becoming the first pan-European bank. The second one is to become the primary partner of the customer in financial matters, to actually offer the customer the best product in every category, be it insurance, be it savings, be it investment, be it payment. For that, we actually we believe that you cannot be the best in every category. Like, could we build something like TransferWise ourselves? Obviously, yes, but they have just 600 people only working on that to make the best customer experience. So for us, in terms of time to market, and also in terms of always having the best product, and integration with a partner just makes a lot of sense. And about talking about the hub, what we actually want to do is we want to create a kind of marketplace for the best products in every category. And in the future, it might well be that you have like 3 savings products, you have a couple of investment products, and so on. Because when I'm actually being called, I don't know how it's about you, but when I'm being called by my bank, I already know, like, they call me once a year. They're going to offer me a pension product which is not competitively priced, which is not suited to my needs, and they just call me because they put it in the agenda for being pushed to the market in this week. So thanks a lot for your attention, and I think there might be a couple of questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So when you're speaking about you want to become a pan-European bank, does it also mean that you really want to be regulated as a bank then? Because you said you're very transparent about that. So what's the idea here?
Yeah, for us, our partnership with Wirecard gives a lot of benefit because everyone is taking care of what they're best in. We really have, like, if you look at Number26, we don't really have the banking experts. We have experts for user experience, user interfaces. We have marketing experts, and we're actually very, very happy that Wirecard take all the burdens on the regulatory side, and thus keeps the contact with the regulator. So I think the current setup is actually great for all sides, but we are always thinking about how we can actually deliver the best user experience, and in terms of speed to market, how you can actually integrate with partners, that we want to build the most modern technology, that we want to have freedom of choice in terms of which technology to choose. It makes a lot of sense to actually, like, in the future, once you have done the proof of concept, to look into getting your own license.
What were the biggest challenges then rolling out into other countries such as Austria, for example, or Slovakia?
Well, actually, we were quite surprised. We started to launch in Germany and Austria at the same time, and we just discovered that Austria, we didn't do a lot of adaptation for Austria, and we just discovered that Austria was scaling according to demographics together with Germany. And then we just discovered that actually the needs of the customers are quite similar across borders. So even like worldwide, if you have a customer in France, if you have a customer in the United States, they want a means of financing, they want to save money, they might want to have an insurance, they want to pay. So that's actually quite similar. We have done so far, we had to do very little adaptation to actually bring the product to market in different countries. And on the regulatory side, European Union, they have one big goal in terms of politics, in terms of competition, is they want to foster transnational competition. And they did a lot of alignment of the regulatory frameworks to exactly achieve what we are doing, to make it possible that a customer from France opens an account in Germany, and when he moves to Italy, he wouldn't have to change the account.
So what do you think then of PSD2? How is this influencing your business?
Yeah, exactly. First PSD1, bringing the SEPA standard to the market, actually makes a lot of sense for us. Also PSD2, every alignment of regulations is good for us as we're positioning ourselves with one IT solution in whole Europe, and obviously it's much easier for us as we are building systems on the green field. It's much easier to adapt to any change in regulation compared to the traditional banks.
Okay, a bit different topic. When you started your speech here today, you said you are a traditional VC-backed tech or fintech startup. Which approaches did you try out in order to be funded as a startup?
Well, I think generally it is like fintech. When we started, we were a little bit ahead of the fintech wave. So at this time, it was only like really experts in the space that wanted to invest in fintech. I think that has changed over the last 2 years. I think especially in fintech, it is a challenge because you have kind of the hen-egg problem. You need some money to get traction, and actually you need traction to get money because in Europe, it's not like this, that you have a good idea and someone throws a couple of million euros at you and say, try it out. So I think, as what other startups have discovered as well, we really had to do small steps, make a small angel round, do a couple of steps, then have the first prototype, have the first customers, get the first feedback, then do a little bit bigger funding round, then proceed again with the product, then do a bigger funding round, and so on.
Would crowd investment be a proper way for you to be funded? Or what do you think of crowd investment?
I think it makes sense for a lot of companies. I think it makes sense for B2C companies. We we thought a little bit about it. Like generally, I like everything that's good for the startup ecosystem. Like for us, obviously, I think we're a little bit too late. Too late for crowdfunding right now, and I think back then in 2013 it was not yet that well developed.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Max. Thank you.